to the Crown Experience. I am your co-host, Keisha Kelly.
And I'm your other co-host, Alita. So, Keisha.
Yes.
All right. So, one of the things that we said we would do here is we would promote businesses. And so, in promoting those businesses, you know, Keisha also mentioned if you do have a business or a service and you want to promote that, please contact us. And there's information that is going to pop up on the bottom of the screen, on the side, on the top,
At the bottom.
on the bottom. But it's going to pop up. And so if you're in the Atlanta area, we do welcome you to be on our show. So one of the things we're going to do is showcase female entrepreneurs. We will take some males. But our focus is definitely women of color and women of color in business.
So I had a thought about that. I was driving and I was like, Siri, take a note. Every day is a day to celebrate your womanhood.
I like that.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. Like, we have to embrace being women and all that it encompasses.
Yeah.
Every day and like smile about it, you know?
Because I'm a woman 24/7, not just 1 month out of the year. So.
Oh, you mean like, or one day, like Mother's Day?
Mother's Day and Women's Month.
I don't even know when that is. So, yes, that's why we're going to celebrate womanhood, because of all the things that we do, we deal with, we've had to overcome, we persevere through, and just carry.
Yeah.
And we just carry. And so one of the things we're going to feature are inspirational messages, and we're going to be real. Keisha and I are going to be transparent.
Yes.
We'll try not to use names. I can't say that I won't use names. I try not to.
I can not use names. You just don't know who you are. So,
and I'll try to do it, but we are going to be real. Just so
Yeah.
you know. Both of us have been married and divorced.
Yeah.
For different reasons. We have just, you know, like I said,
experience life. So
yes.
There's lots to share here. What I like about it is not only do we get to feed people, which we both enjoy doing, and we also get to share. Like, things get real on the table talks.
They do.
Really
There's
real.
tears sometimes. There's very real heart to heart.
There are tears from people. I'm working my way through that. I am tears are from I, on the other hand, I have to work on my vulnerability. That is something that, you know, what we've heard from guests on the table talk is that the table is very therapeutic.
It is.
So we get to share a lot and learn a lot from each other. So I enjoy that aspect of it, because you get to grow along with us.
Right.
I've grown a little bit already. We've only done a few. There's a long way to go. So
for all of us. And you know, guys, we want you all to participate too. If there's ever any topics that you'd like us to discuss on our table talks, please feel free to send them in. And that's going to be posted as well.
Yes. You can post it on the www.thecrownexperience.com or hit us up on Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter at CrownLife101. So all of that will be there. We were watching something yesterday. Well, I was watching something yesterday that you.
I just kind of came around the corner and asked what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
It was Jay Belvin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, want to make sure I'm not messing up names. Listen, I will mess up a name or a word. All right, like I said, transparent. So Jay Belvin was a Colombian rapper, reggaeton is what he does. And there was something going on in the scene, and I was like, Keisha, what's wrong? You know, what's going on with him? Just wanted to know, you know, what he was dealing with, because I think he was being comforted by somebody, and I'm like, you know, what's he dealing with? Mm-hmm. And she went on to explain that
he suffers with anxiety and depression. So on Amazon Prime, they have his a world, not his world tour, but it was a tour where he put on a concert back in his hometown in Medellin in Colombia, and he was just dealing with just the pressures of performing and all the political turmoil that was going on with Colombia at the time, plus with his stages of depression and anxiety are always with him. So he has a big thing on transparency with his fans, and it helps him with his self-care. Mm-hmm. So he talks about his depression and anxiety a lot. Every time you see him, whether it's on his concert or on his social media, he's talking about the realities of the things that he deals with. So I was just filling Alita in on how when you get scarred at a young age, he was a teenager pretty much when young adult, 17, 18. He was trying to do a lot for himself and his family in pursuing his dream, and it caused him to leave his hometown of Colombia and move to Miami and struggle in Miami trying to make it, and just the depression of not being able to make it how he wanted, plus not being able to provide for his family as he wanted to. It was a lot of pressure on him, and it made him feel so small. And it just that is such a familiar feeling for so many people. Like, they struggle with all the things that they want to do, and they just can't achieve it at that time because maybe it just wasn't the time. But instead of like dwelling in that space, he found the strength to he moved back home and pursued his dream. He went home, got the self-care, the nurturing environment, familiarity that he needed, that helps him to push forward. He still suffers with the anxiety and depression from then, because it's challenging to, when you go down that path, it's a long way to get back to yourself. But the fact that he can recognize his triggers and recognize when he's going into a bad space and gets the help that he needs, it's a real testament to his strength of character and something that we could all learn from.
And that's what it was for me when she said that. When Keisha said that, well, he's dealing with the scars from his past. And for me, that's what resonated, because I think a lot of us are dealing with the scars from our past, and how he was now successful. Yes. He has a whole show. He had a movie or documentary on Prime Video, and it was really good. And it showed his success, and it showed where he was and where he came from, and to being this person now. And it's just amazing that, surrounded by so much notoriety and fame, he still could go back to those places where the scars, and I can't even say scars, they're still scabs, because sometimes they still lift up, and that's where you see the anxiety and the depression. And it's just, I did appreciate the transparency from what I saw, once I jumped in. But it just got me to thinking about how many of us still have these scabs that still affect us, and how it's just time to let those things heal and become the scars that become, in my opinion, our battle wounds, where they become our testimonies. And we can say, yeah, I got this, but I came out. Yes. I overcame that situation. And so that's what we want the Crown Experience to be about, is letting those scabs heal.
Yes.
And become scars, but instead of looking at them as a bad thing, looking at them as our beauty marks and our badges of honor. Because we all have them. Yes. We all have them. And not being afraid to show them. As, he, like I said, he was very inspirational in that.
Yeah, definitely. I know that maybe looking at it, first of all, he has a group of people who are very supportive and loving and nurturing for him, and we all need that support group around us.
Absolutely.
What we want to provide with the Crown Experience is to be part of that support group around you.
Yes.
help you learn how to heal from those battle wounds and be your best self.
So yeah. Got a little heavy there, but that's what we're about. Is to heal. Is to heal in a journey forward. To encourage each other. Yep. Push each other. Yep. Promote each other.
Yeah.
And uplift each other, because if we don't, who else will?
Right.
And that's what the Crown Experience is. How we are fearfully and wonderfully made. How we're all unique.
Yeah.
And men bring something, I feel like, different to the table, different type of energy.
Yeah.
Women bring a different energy.
Yeah.
And then just within who we are, we bring our differences, our experiences, our perspectives on things, but then just our own uniqueness. It's why even identical twins have different fingerprints, even though they might look the same, their DNA might read the same, but their fingerprints are even different.
Yeah.
And so there's something different about all of us, whether great or small, because there are some people you have a lot of things in common, with, and you like, that's my tribe, those are my people. And then there's others that there's these great differences, but all in all, it still is what drives, I feel like, this world, is our uniqueness and our differences. I do feel like we are all uniquely made and created for a reason and a purpose. I do feel like there's a plan for everyone's lives, and that all those differences come together.
Yeah. So celebrate your differences, your uniqueness. They are what make you great. Sometimes it doesn't always feel like it, especially when you're going through your growing years and you're trying to figure out who you are. Those unique traits and qualities might feel damning sometimes. But in all truth and reality, trying to skip a few steps for you, that's what makes you the shit. Point blank, period. It makes you you, and people appreciate that about you, whether you know it or not. There are people who are watching you that are loving the unique qualities that are within you, wishing that they can be that way. Yeah. Some of them might make fun of your uniqueness, but that's only because they can't do it. So, fuck the haters. Don't listen to them. Do you. That's all I can say about that.
I love what she just said, but that's what it is. Sometimes you are teased for your differences. And it is normally from a place of jealousy or envy, because they can't be you. So truly, step out and be you. God didn't create you to be anybody else. I also am a teacher. I teach science. And one of the things I've had this conversation with my son as well as my students, and even sometimes when I preach, when I talk about being unique, and how just to make you, that there were millions of options that could have made you you. When the egg and the sperm come together, there are so many ways that your DNA between your parents can cross over and change and rearrange. You see, he's agreeing that can make you any combination of whatever. You could have come out looking, if you have siblings, you could have come out looking like your sister, but no, you came out looking like you. You could have come out looking like your brother, or being your brother. But in that moment, all that came together in that moment, and it made you out of all the combinations and variations that could have been you.
Thank you.
They didn't happen, and it's you. He likes my shoes. My shoes have all these sparkles. They're off, obviously, and they were in his mouth. But all those combinations didn't happen. The one combination that did happen is you, and that's who you see when you look in the mirror. So celebrate that, because you could have been 7 billion other variations of you, but you're not. You're uniquely you. Till next week, guys. Thank you for joining us.